Freddy's Tricks and Treats. Ooh. You must know by now that I'm a huge Fred head. He's always fighting Chucky for the top spot of my favorite horror villain, and I think the Nightmare movies are consistently entertaining and creative. Even the lesser movies in that franchise will have something really cool and fun in it. Also, Nightmare on Elm Street was the first horror movie I ever saw. So yeah, you can consider me a fan. Lately, I've become kind of obsessed with all the bonus Elm Street material out there. This franchise was advertised. Freddy had video games, novels, his own album, tons of strange commercials, a hotline where you call Freddy, and most importantly, his own anthology TV show that ran for 2 seasons. I actually think this show captures the energy of the movies in most of its episodes, with a lean towards the style of Elm Street's 4 and 5, since it's incredibly corny. Just how I like it! But I'm not here to spew off about the entire show. I'm here to look at an episode that takes place on Halloween! Oh, I forgot to specify that in my first video. Every special and movie I'm covering has to have Halloween in it. At least at some point. We're looking for Halloween vibes, not general horror vibes. Anyways, Freddy's Tricks and Treats follows a college girl named Marsha, who's just about had it with Springwood's obsession with Halloween. Everyone's trying to get her to come hang out, but she would rather study for her upcoming anatomy test. But she soon finds out that Springwood's affinity for Halloween is because there are urban legends of a ghost in their town, which makes the season extra scary. Maybe even too scary. It's Freddy Krueger, he's the ghost. And he isn't just some legend, he's real. I'm glad this episode actually has Freddy as the villain. While Freddy does have plenty of appearances in this show, most of the plots are unrelated to him, or are only related to him because he may have possibly set things into motion. Other than that, he's just used for the wraparound segments. So seeing him as our main villain here is nice! I love Freddy's one-liners in this episode, and he gets up to a lot of his classic tricks. We get a good amount of scenes with him too. It's not like they only have him here once. But still, he is not the focus. Marsha is. And she's actually a pretty likable lead. With 40 minutes dedicated to her story, we get to know what makes her tick. And I feel really bad for her when Freddy uses her sour relationship with her grandma against her. At first, I was annoyed with her boyfriend Mark, since he was so insistent on making Marsha be more sociable and go to this big Halloween party. I just thought that was none of his business. Marsha doesn't need to go to a party if she doesn't want to. But then the twist came in, which genuinely caught me off guard. They reveal that Mark was never real. Marsha just imagined him because she was lonely and couldn't muster up the courage to ask anyone out because of the trauma her grandmother gave her. Once she gets past that trauma, he fades away, and we're just left with Marsha sobbing in a way that actually got me to feel something. I went in this for the goofs! I didn't expect to actually care about the characters! I have to give the episode props for that. Now Mark's behavior makes a lot more sense to me. Mark was just the part of herself that hated how poor her social life was, and his insistence that she go make friends was really her telling herself that. It's good stuff. Anyways, that was just the first half. The second half focuses on this jackass named Zach, who's experimenting on Marsha now because he has this device that can see into her dreams? I don't know, he comes off as a fucking predator, watching her wet dreams and shit. I hated this guy. He was so manipulative of Marsha, who I had already come to really like, so I was just mad watching him. He finds out that Marsha is having Freddy dreams, and just keeps trying to make things worse for her until her dreams reveal some amazing scientific discovery. He even goes as far as to start choking Marsha, what the fuck? But then, oh god. I have never rooted for Freddy this hard before. He sees someone else is going for his kill and he does not like it. I was so happy to see that not only was Freddy killing Zach, but he had become Freddy's primary target and Marsha is allowed to live. That made me very happy. Anyways, while I really did like this episode, I'll be the first to admit that its writing was a little sloppy. I don't think the writers trusted the audience to understand what was going on, so occasionally there are these really forced lines of dialogue that spell everything out for you, and it never feels natural. But aside from those writing hiccups, I had a great time here. It really did feel like a condensed Elm Street movie, at least in the first half. That was definitely the better part of the episode. But we do get some fun stuff in the second half. Thanks for the treat, Freddy.